Welcome back to the channel, and here's an update on the RangeRover Sport L320. A couple of weeks ago I went to pick up someone in the car. They opened the door and water just rushed out from the base of the door, and the carpet was absolutely sodden. There was no sign of any leaks before that, so I'm just going to show you what I think it is and how I've resolved the problem. The water was collected in the base here and down in this channel, and it had all fed the way through to the back, or from the back to the front. So I released the kick panel from here. First of all, you have to remove that side panel there, which is very easy. It just clips out, and then you can clip this panel out. To release this panel from the side here, first of all you have to remove the bonnet release, which is held in by T20 Torx. That's fairly easy, and this trim panel here just clips out. So what is the cause of the leak? Well, there are various reasons. One is the sunroof, which is the main reason people have leaks on Range Rover Sports, I believe. But this car doesn't have a sunroof, thank goodness. The second one is from the heater matrix, and you can tell that straight away by the feel and the smell of the water. But you can also tell by whether the pollen filter is blocked, and I'll show you how to check that now. Well, first of all, we undo the glove box, take out all the bits and pieces. Then we have to release this little clip here, which is very simple to do. Then we just pull down, and that releases that. And just up there you can see where the pollen filter is. Now that's bone dry, but I'll just show you. Just release that and clip out the panel, and there is the foam filter. And that feels bone dry to me, and there is the pollen filter. It's absolutely bone dry, and it just pulls out. That's been slotted back in and just replace. Central place that you can get leaks apparently is from a distorted lower windscreen trim above the plastic scuttle. Now, I would have thought that this rubber trim is replaceable, but it's not. It's an integral part of this piece here. And although you can probably see down there, there is a little bit of distortion. You'd expect, if that was leaking, to get leaks or evidence of leak further up the carpet, and maybe a damp pollen filter and wets in other areas, but I haven't got that, so I can only assume it's something else. Reading through the manuals, etc., and looking, central place that you can get leaks apparently is from a distorted lower windscreen trim above the plastic scuttle. Now, I would have thought that this rubber trim is replaceable, but it's not. It's an integral part of this piece here. And although you can probably see down there, there is a little bit of distortion. You'd expect, if that was leaking, to get leaks or evidence of leak further up the carpet, and maybe a damp pollen filter and wets in other areas, but I haven't got that. so I can only assume it's something else. Problem with this particular leak is that I dried it all out over a matter of 3, 4, 5 days when we had that really warm weather, and everything seemed fine. And the only thing I could find wrong was that this rubber trim here had just come away a little bit. So I thought, with all the heavy rain we've had, perhaps it's just flooded in from there. And fine, everything was okay once I'd secured that trim back, and there was no water leak for 2 weeks. And during that time we did have some heavy rain and no further water came in. A few days ago, again we had some rain, and guess what? Flooded again. So I thought, check all the seals again, they were fine. So that leaves something else. Having read on various forums and some bulletins from Land Rover, it appears that there is a design problem with this A-pillar trim here. You can see the white securing clips there, and at the bottom there are 2 holes. There is one, you can see here, which I'll show you the appropriate part on the trim in a minute. There's also an oval hole here, which has a securing pin, plastic securing pin, and a foam surround, which is supposed to stop water getting in. But I suppose over time that degrades and you get water ingress. And I think that is what's caused my problem. There's also a hole further up there at the top, which I've secured with a grommet, rubber grommet, and I'll show the reason for that in a minute. Here we have the piece of trim for the A-pillar, and that's the outside, and on the inside there you can see the lower part here. You can see the securing or locating pin, if it focuses, the locating pin for the lower oval hole. Now in my case this was broken, so it's doing absolutely nothing, and that is a piece of foam, and I can't for the life of me see how that actually stops water ingress, because it's just a soft foam, and that was sodden when I took it off. At the top, this locating piece has come away, which is why I've actually put that grommet in. Land Rover do supply a kit for remedying this, but it's essentially doing exactly what I've done here, which is blanking that hole off with a piece of rubber bonded onto the A-pillar there. The top, I don't think it says anything about that, but I can't see how that locating pin is doing a great deal, so I've just filled that in with the grommet. So I'll put the trim back now, and over the next few days dry the car out, and if we get any more rain I'm sure it won't leak, but if it does, back to square one. But I will do an update on this in a few weeks, just to let you know how it's got on, if it works. But I will be getting a new A-pillar trim panel, because this one's a bit manky and